Hey y'all, what's up? This is Brave, and I'm back to review Zatima. Yes, the show is back. We're on season 2, and we're going to jump right into episode 1. So, episode is titled Basic Instinct, and let's get right into it. So, we actually see Zatima going hard in the shower, y'all. They were in there doing their thing, and when they were done, Fatima is letting Zach know that this is all starting to be too much. Oh, not all the drama and the BS. Nope, just the sex that they've been having. They are having it way too often. Now, this conversation, it even continues on into the living room, and she asked him, have any of the other women that he's dated ever complained about how he wants to have sex too much? Now, according to Zach, this is not a problem. And Fatima's like, no, seriously, it is because we gotta slow this down. So they end up going outside because they were going to leave for work or whatever. Or should I say Fatima is going to work? I don't know what Zach is going to go do. So Deja is outside. She's in an ambulance because she swears that she has all these injuries that Fatima has caused her. Because y'all remember uh Fatima had yanked her out of the hot tub with oh boy. That's where we are starting this season, right back off where we left off, right? Cool. So she is over here being extra as Deja always is. I honestly forgot about that fight. For some reason, in my mind, I kept thinking about the fight that she had on Sisters in the gym with her. But nonetheless, Fatima is like, Zach, I don't want you talking to her, and I want you to go back in the house. And I mean, she was sounding like a mom. I was like, why are you yelling at your child like this? Go back in the house. I don't want you to be talking to her. Like, it was very controlling and possessive. I was like, Tyler, why are you playing Fatima out like this, especially in front of Deja? It honestly makes her look extremely insecure whenever she's around Deja. So, what got me is that Deja was like, oh, Fatima is possessive and you need to keep your dog on a leash. Now, keep in mind, she said those things after Fatima had gotten to her car and drove off. Zach, of course, he still takes up for Fatima and he ends up leaving in his car. Y'all, why did we see Fatima drive back around? I said, so you mean to tell me that you don't trust your man that much that you gonna go circle the block? Girl, this ain't what you want. If you gotta do all this for Zach, you have a lot of issues. Because not only do you got the baby mama drama from the exes, now you still gotta worry about Deja and her shenanigans. It's too much. Alright, y'all, so then we see Bryce at the office. Now, he decides that he wants to go ahead and apologize to Zach because he made things awkward. And if Zach wants to, part ways with him after these 2 projects, because at this point, Zach feels like he has been betrayed. And he feels this way because in his mind, he thinks that Bryce has been plotting on him this entire time. Now, do I think that Bryce has been plotting on Zach? No. But I do feel like these feelings have arisen for him, and he did not know where Zach stood. I don't know how he didn't when Zach has told him this. So, yeah, Bryce, I don't know about you, buddy. Nonetheless, Zach, he does feel like they had a genuine friendship at first, but you see what happened. So Zach also ends up letting him know that he could have just told him. And I'm like, so I just want to know how you were going to take it, Zach. Because if this man would have just came out and told you, like, hey, man, I'm bi, and for some reason I'm attracted to you, how are you going to respond, Zach? I'm just curious. Because I feel like at the end of the day, this was going to go south just because this storyline was ridiculous. I don't understand how Bryce is going to continue, but we shall see how Tyler writes it. So at the end of this, both men go into their separate rooms and Bryce apologizes yet again. Here's my thing about these 2 projects. I really want to see that they finish these projects together by the end of the season because I'm just trying to figure out how Zach is going to have any type of income coming in besides the rent money from Deja. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and move along. All right, so now we head on down to Fatima's office. because she's going to have a conversation with Angela, and they are talking about how Angela has been avoiding Bryce because she found out that he kissed Zach, and she wants a straight man. She doesn't want to deal with a man who's bisexual or whatever. And okay, that's fine. You can feel however you want to feel. But I do feel like we need to see a conversation between Angela and Bryce. We are 2 episodes in. Well, this is the first episode review, but I'm saying we got 2 episodes. By this third one, I need to have a conversation happening between Angela and Bryce. Just throwing that out there. So Fatima ends up updating Angela about how they did find out that it is Zach's baby, as well as how Zach and her are having too much sex. Now, here's my thing. I hate the way Tyler writes the conversations between Fatima and Angela, because Angela is always questioning the things that Fatima has going on in her life. For example, when she told her this, like, oh my gosh, we're doing it too much, she's like, uh, that's not good. Like, that's really not good. I'm just like, why does she talk like that? I don't think the thing is, I don't think it's the actress. I just think it's the way Tyler has written for this character to like do things, because she does the same thing later on. Nonetheless, um, Angela chimes in and says that this is not good because Fatima is not going to be able to handle his sexual appetite, and clearly he needs more than one woman. Y'all, I have a subscriber. I think her name is Rosa, and she has been mentioning how Fatima cannot handle Zach sexually while I've been reviewing Sisters. Now, I never picked up on that until we got here. Now, sis, how did you know that was the storyline that was about to happen? I really want to know. But nonetheless, Fatima says she has to figure out what she's going to do about this whole situation. Also, Tyler, the Roxy and Garfield names, cut it out. Now, okay, let's get to this barbershop, because Tyler is so lazy. He didn't even give the barbershop a name. Like, you know how Karen's salon, it has like Karen's something something salon or whatever. Why was the barbershop just barbershop? I said, you know what? Tyler, stop being lazy. So we actually see Zach. He's in the shop getting his hair cut. And then we see his little friend. I want to say his name is Nate. Is it Nate? Yeah, it's Nate. So he ends up coming in or whatever. And I already don't like him. He was the same guy who was in the hot tub with Deja. Y'all, this whole scene, I gave a side eye to, because the barber did all the talking in the scene at one point, to where he was like running down all the things that Nate did wrong, how he was trying to ruin Zach's relationship, and also how Zach ain't having enough sex at home. I said, sir, this isn't even barbershop talk. This is actually disgusting. Cut this conversation out. I was so over it. So next thing you know, um, the other friend, don't know his name. He ends up coming from the back or whatever. And y'all, let's just get to the meat and potatoes, because I don't even care about them. Jeremiah walks in. Oh, you know who Jeremiah is. That's Zach's brother. He came in there and he is like, you should go see our mom. And Zach's like, I don't want to see her or whatever. Like, she ain't really, done anything for me, and she treat me bad. I'm not trying to go see that woman. Next thing you know, the brother gets a phone call right on time, and it's from the mom. So then he forces Zach to talk to the mom on the phone. And while he's doing this, why did he light a blunt in that man's shop? So now you have the friend, I think his name is Tony. He's telling him, like, no, you can't be doing that in my dad's shop. And Jeremiah doesn't even listen. He is ignoring Tony. So Zach ends up getting off the phone with his mom. You can clearly see that there's a disconnect there. He doesn't talk to her. It's honestly a terrible situation. Like, I think it's so messed up how a lot of people have these terrible relationships with their parents. Like, I'm so sad for that, because I know that this is just a character, but I mean, just like in general, in real life, I feel like we have seen so many people have terrible relationships with their parents. Nonetheless, when Zach ends up getting off the phone, he does tell Jeremiah, like, hey, I need for you to go ahead and not smoke in my barber's shop. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and go. I'll go see mom later. All right, fine. Like I said, I don't like Jeremiah's character. I feel like he's going to be a nuisance this entire season. All right, y'all. Another scene that I was so over was this scene right here with Angela and Fatima. They are leaving work. Fatima has a flat tire, right? Why did Fatima go to that trunk and get some little tool talking about she gonna fix it? Why are we acting like we are not in the age of AAA? Why do we do that on TV shows? I hate it. No woman has to try to pretend like she knows how to fix a flat, and no, she don't have to call a man to come fix her flat. What she can do is call AAA, because they're going to send somebody out to do all that work for you. Yeah? Okay. Nonetheless, another thing that gets me. Angela, here we go. Angela's like, you're not going to call Zach about that? Why? Why does she need to call Zach for every little thing? But then I realize the type of woman that Angela is. Angela gives off damsel in distress. Angela gives off, oh my gosh, I need a man's help. Oh my God, help me, save me, save me. And that is not Fatima. So, another thing. Y'all really think that Zach know how to fix a flat tire? Or is he just going to mess it up even more? I'm just curious because when I look at Zach, not DeVal, when I look at Zach, I don't think that man know how to fix a flat tire. I'm just saying. Another thing that irritated me about this whole scene is when Angela decided to say, well, you know what Ian used to say? Excuse me? What do you mean what Ian used to say? You saying that like as if that was your man. What do you mean by that, girl? So Fatima's like, well, what did Ian say? And she was like, how you're just so independent and how you don't need him for anything. Here's the thing. I don't understand why Tyler likes to play it in our face when it comes to these characters and what he writes for their storylines. Because why do we need Angela to remind Fatima of what Ian used to say to her? Like, that makes no sense. This woman's in a whole other relationship. You can see that the dynamics in the relationship that she once had with Ian seem to be very different than what they are with Zach. I'm telling you, with friends like the way Tyler writes them, you don't need enemies because they gonna put you down left and right. Whether it be sisters or the girls on Zatima, somebody's gonna get put down as far as the women in their friendships. Nonetheless, Angela tries to tell Fatima how basically men want to feel wanted and needed. And I absolutely believe that both parties usually want to feel wanted and needed. But here's the thing. The way Angela is phrasing it, it makes it seem as though you need to wait on a man to do everything for you. And I don't really like that vibe. Especially once they had that whole submissive conversation and how Fatima was like, I don't want to have to act like that with a man, so that way I have to be forced to be submissive to him, because that's not who I am. We know that's not who you are. Like, for the most part of what we have seen between Zach and Fatima, she doesn't exactly let him lead. And as of lately, Tyler has made it seem like she definitely wears the pants in the relationship. But when we first got with the whole Zatima situation, they more so made plans and decisions together. It's just the way that Tyler has now forced Fatima's character to be such a, I don't even know what to call it at this point. Like, she chastises Zach left and right, and that's pretty annoying. But let's go ahead and move on. I found this to be such a random way for Tyler to introduce a new character. So we meet a man named Paul. He ends up coming down to where the ladies were. He already knew exactly who they were. I said, how do you know their names? He's talking about because I work in the construction on the floor above y'all or whatever. He said, sir, you can work in the same exact building as me, but that does not mean that you should know my first name unless we have previously met. Like, I don't know. I think that was very strange. So next thing you know, they kind of start having small talk or whatever. And Angela was putting it on thick with the damsel in distress thing. While Fatima is like, well, I'm going to go ahead and call my fiance to do it. So he's like, well, I can fix your tire for you. Um, you know, I have a friend who can get you all the new parts, all this stuff. I said, all right, cool. I can't lie. In this moment, I said, oh, I don't like where this is going because it gives off the energy that Paul is going to be interested in Fatima, right? But I feel like we should have got a plot twist. And the plot twist should have been that he was actually interested in Angela instead of Fatima. But I highly doubt that that's the storyline that we will possibly get. So, nonetheless, the man ends up telling Fatima that he can get her car fixed by tomorrow, and she trusts him and says, all right, that's fine. So, we then see that she goes home, right? Fatima goes home, and Zach is trying to lead her to the bedroom. Now, she tells him that she wants him to have a side chick, y'all. And I'm just like, we clearly know that she's not talking about another woman. So let's just see how this all plays out on the next episode. Y'all, that is where the episode left off. Let me know what y'all thought about it. I feel like it was an okay opening. But go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all on the next one. Bye, guys.